what you'll need is a piece of lace. If you don't have lace around the house, maybe look for a piece of ribbon. Raid your wrapping supplies and see what you have there. You'll also need a pair of scissors. Needle and thread is optional. Ruler is optional. But you will need a hair tie. So you're going to take your hair tie and you're going to twist it so it now looks like a figure 8, right? Infinity. And then you're going to pull one of the sides in the other and pull it tight. That will put a knot in the center, and that'll help us give it a little bit of something to pull up against when you put it on your head. So you have that. If you are going to do the sewing, and it really is really easy sewing. It's a great first sewing project. You need about 2 feet worth of thread. Just regular cotton thread's fine, or whatever you have really. And I doubled end. And then for the lace, you can use about 18 inches, 24 inches. It really depends on the size of your head. So I'm going to go ahead and just measure myself. So I'm placing it a little bit on the behind my forehead, about where I would wear it. And if you can see in the back here, I'm just going to measure where it actually meets. There'll be this little bit of a gap here when you actually wear it, but this will make it so that you have enough to do your knots or sewing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And what's the adage? Measure twice, cut once. I'm just going to go with it. It's pretty good. I measured this a bunch of times. So if you're going to just be knotting, you're going to gather one end up a little bit, grab your hair tie, put it in one of the loops, and tie a knot. I don't really think it needs a double knot if you tie it really tight. Lace is pretty coarse, so it's not going to slip out. And then you have this little bit of a tail, and it's fine. It'll be in the back of your head, but if you want to sort of wrap it around a little bit, you can. Just tuck it in. If you're going to sew, you're going to do something similar. You're going to pop that through there, and then you're going to just take that end, and I'm going to fold it, gather it a little bit so it's a little bit thinner, and I'm going to fold it over once and fold it over twice. I have this little area here. See how it's kind of gathered? And then you can't screw this sewing up, I promise. I'm just going to go through one side. Make sure I go through a thicker part of the lace, not straight through one of the holes, otherwise my knot's not going to hold. And I'm not going to pull real tight because otherwise my knot will hold out or pull out a little bit too. And I'm just kind of going around the edge a couple times. And I'll go through the middle a few times, and I'll go around the other side. It's really nothing at all complicated. You can't screw it up. And it's pretty quick. I mean, I'm not even being all that careful about where it goes. The thread I used is close enough in color, so you can't tell. If I was using a contrasting color thread, I might be a little bit more cautious with my stitching. You could even do some fun stitching. You could outline the outside of it, but really this is going to be on the nape of your neck in the back. No one's going to see it. So there I did about 3 or 4. I'm going to do a couple more over here, and just maybe one in this little center part. But again, it's fine. One important thing to think about is I'm not sewing it to the elastic. I'm just sewing the lace onto itself. So it could technically move around on here. It won't when you're wearing it, but just so you know, you don't have to go through that thick elastic. And then when I'm done, I'm going to make a little loop with my thread and then circle and pull it tight and then go through. Go through there and give it a snip. Be careful so you don't cut your lace. And there you go. 2 options for how to tie it off. Really, that knot was super simple, but the sewing takes just about as much time. No big deal. All right, give it a try. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.